And we've repurposed it for this exact thing. We had a guy who was actually the guy who's listening to us, watching us over right now. Lori, our tech guy, came through, put up all the soundproofing. And what we're actually going to do is take this room and move it to the back. So, you know, the office you just saw that was mine, that's going to turn into this podcast room. We're going to get rid of these, and kind of do the same type of thing as my office moves downstairs.
So there's someone watching us, listening to us, remote?
Yeah. So he usually comes into Lorian. I was in here with him on the phone, just setting this all up because I actually don't typically do this by myself. So I got to learn a little bit, make sure that our volume's all correct.
How we looking, Mike? We look good on the cameras. Thumbs up.
Looking well. We're live now. This is before the mic. For those who know, gonna give Colin a quick rundown of the show for the radio. So we shoot this in 14-minute segments. So we'll, do a segment, take a quick break for the radio, and then we literally just get right back into it. Hey, thanks for sticking with us through the break. This is Infused Influence on WICN. You're listening to Rayvon and Colin. Go through with it, and then at the end of the second 14 minutes, we end the episode because it airs in 30-minute spurts on the radio. So this right here was just an hour for live, but 2 radio episodes is what this will be. And so then we'll do the third 14-minute segment will be like, Colin, welcome to the show. Appreciate having you here. Even though for y'all watching live, y'all seen it. We're just right here. Just right here. And then we'll do the same thing. And then in between those, we'll play the game where we have you guess the weight, and then we have a strain game as well. And on that second half, we'll have Doc join us. So
that's my guy.
All right, bet. So I'm gonna take us into the actual show for the radio. I'm not recording, but I guess it doesn't matter because this thing will pick it up itself, right?
Relax and enjoy the show.
All right, I'm gonna have to run that again.
Good.
All right, so we're just gonna act like this is the beginning of the show. Maybe I don't know. I'm probably missing something, but I know that this tracks it here. I just gotta keep of time. All right, let's start right now.
What up, y'all? You're now listening to Infused Influence, where we're infused by weed culture, cannabis business, and its politics through conversations with special guests. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yo, welcome to Infused Influence. This is the show where you listen to my raspy voice for no reason. I mean, not for no reason. I like to think I'm a little bit of a somewhat educated guy to talk about certain topics. Other things, probably not. But as you can tell, this is just Rayvon. No Ulysses today. He typically does this part. And so, obviously, we have a special guest. But before we get there, we got to ask how I'm doing and give you guys a rating on the day. So typically Ulysses will say, hey, how you doing, Rayvon? I'll give him a rating. I'll probably go 7.5 out of 10 today. It's Tuesday. It's January. It's okay. It's a little cold. It's getting better. But of course, Infused Influence, we have a special guest every time. Today's special guest, we have Colin from the Shabbat Corp. Did I pronounce that correctly? Shabbat Corp, excuse me, the T. And then this one's the claps. Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing today?
It's good. Every day's a blessing, no matter what the cards are. So you just got to figure out how to play them and keep it going. So happy to be here. Happy to be seen. Happy to be on the other side of the camera.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a pretty cool, unique story. So it's nice to be able to sit down and talk about where I've been and what I'm up to.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, bro. Let's start with, who you are. I know that to me and some of the people around here, Doc, like we see you like, oh shit, like that's Colin, bro. Like we know who this kid is.
Yeah.
We're not kid, but we know who this guy is. Like for the people, like who are you?
So I'm the owner of the Shabbat Corp. We're a creative brand development company that services, I'd say probably about 90% cannabis businesses. But we help companies expand through all creative means necessary. Other than that, I come from the weed world far before I ever got into this, and I've tried a whole bunch of different businesses as well in that time frame where I was just all in on weed. That I have like an entrepreneurial background, an entrepreneurial spirit, and I'm just excited to have parlayed it into something that I think will last a lifetime.
No, that's pretty dope. My fault for your audio. I
You're
figured
good,
out I had
dude.
the wrong mic turned on.
You're good.
But that's pretty dope. So you mentioned a lot of experience with weed. So this is something that we typically get into more in the second half of the show, but I probably want to start there. In fact, it's kind of more of a doc question. So how far back does this go for you? Like, when did you kind of figure out that you wanted to do all this?
So I first smoked weed way too young. Maybe like, I don't know, I was maybe like seventh or eighth grade. Like I was still on the elementary
Yeah.
bus, like going to that school, so maybe even younger. And it like didn't really do anything for me. So I spent years not being interested in it. And then around 15, 16, I smoked again, and I was like, oh, this is what the rave's about. And I realized very quickly that it did for me what my ADHD medicine was doing for me for my whole life. I was basically on that shit forever. So I had to. I figured that I was gonna use this instead of that, and I knew I wasn't gonna be able to afford to smoke how I needed to medicate, and I knew it was a medicine, and there was an access issue for a lot of people. So we helped connect the dots for a lot of people for years, and that gave me the opportunity to really just learn everything about it. I've done everything from, when I originally started trimming, I was still in high school. I was trimming overnight, going to school the next day, smelling like a garden. Like, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was, I was hanging out with people way older than me that were showing me the ropes, and those people just happened to be Cannabis Cup winners and people who, like, really were killing it and far ahead of their time. And I just got lucky, dude. Like, I stumbled upon the fucking best crew, and it was just the rest is history. We've done everything: grow it, hash, marketing it, branding it,
Yeah.
getting hype behind it, and those businesses gave me the opportunity to kind of dip my toe into all these other things. And yeah, it's been one hell of a ride.
So mentioning you not started at 15, but got back into it at 15.
Yeah.
Was that kind of a conscious choice? You mentioned like, wanting to stay away from it. Was that like all right, I'm going to try it again? Was it like it just happens to be there?
It was like a intersection of freedom and rebellion from
Rebellion.
my parents.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, let me be very clear to anyone listening or watching. I have the best parents in the whole entire
Yo,
world.
clap it up for that. We love good
Like,
parents.
yo, my parents, the absolute best. They did everything right. And I still decided, like, the sidewalk ain't for me. I'm running down the middle of the highway. Like, it was a conscious decision on my own to just figure it out and go all for it. Like, it did so much for me. And I knew the help that it could provide others. And I was just like, this is at a time where medical is just conversation and is finally voted in. And now we're seeing like some progress, but there's nowhere to go. There are no stores. There's nowhere to go and get it. And there's this massive gap between what most people are finding on the street and these small craft growers that if you're the luckiest guy in the world, they're your friends and you know them and you have a guy that you can rely on. So there was this big gap and someone had to be the connection. So
Connection selection, right?
it originally started as Mass Connection. So that's what it was for years.
Mm-hmm.
I got deleted at 10,000 followers on Instagram when 10,000 was like 100,000. The pool was small. There wasn't a lot of weed people on there, and it was like a national, like people in Cali were getting served our posts in Mass and vice versa because there was such little interaction of that community on Instagram that it was easy to reach across the country. So I lost that page. I spent it was 2016, I think that page got deleted finally. So for the last 10 years, I've been rebuilding this new one, but it's a lot more quality of a community, and we do some really cool things off of my page, and it's quality over quantity.
Absolutely. What's the name of it? Drop the name.
The Connection Selection.
Connection Selection on Instagram, and
Yeah, from there you can find everything else. Like that's where I tell people that's where all the fun happens. So my primary page is the Connection Selection. From there you can see all the projects that I'm involved in, all the work that I do, all the Shabbat Court page. You can find it there. You can find my merch store. We do like a print as you go merch store on my site where people can kind of check out some designs that we've just put out into the ether, because at one point I had a clothing company, so that's something I kind of like to still dabble in, and it reduces textile waste. So we
absolutely
just keep
drop shipping.
yeah, we keep the link up, and if people order it, they order it. Awesome, we appreciate the support. If they don't, at least we didn't waste a bunch of money on t-shirts.
No, absolutely,
So,
brother.
yeah.
I've wasted money on t-shirts before.
Yo, it's the worst. That's how I stopped my clothing company.
Yeah.
I had to order shirts that didn't get manufactured how I was anticipating them to get manufactured. I had put all the money from that company into it, and I ended up giving every single one of those shirts. I maybe sold 5 of them
Yep.
to like my homies.
Yeah.
And like I literally gave away thousands of dollars in t-shirts, and that was just like, I'm gonna
Marketing,
move
right?
on to the next thing.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I had a feeling that wasn't the direction I needed to head, and thank God, because where we're headed is going great. So
No, it's dope. Well, I guess I'll get back onto your kind of origin story. So you mentioned, trimming and stuff like that in high school. How the fuck you get into that? Like,
so my buddy was dating this girl, and he was like, "Hey, do you think you could give me a ride over to her house?" And I was like, "Yeah, totally." So I gave him a ride over, and I met her brother, her older brother, who, and I love you, Pete, but I thought he was just a loser that lived at home with his parents. Like, real talk. I would just like go kick it with him while my buddy was hanging with his sister. And then one day he was like, "Hey man, like, anyone ever told you about me?" And I'm like, "No." And he like shows me the Irish Rolex, the ankle monitor. And he's like, here's the deal. So he tells me about the weed and what the situation he's currently in. And yeah, the rest is history, dude. It was like really a little bit of shitty weed, and then my whole world changed, dude. I really had the opportunity to learn everything from just simple trimming, resetting the room, cleaning it all down, like what to clean, what not to clean. This is at a time where like growing is basically DIY, like where Aeroflow tables with, deep water culture buckets, and we're not even in soil. We're not even in cocoa. We're doing hydro at that time. Yeah, I've learned it all. I've seen it all, making hash. I got my first set of bubble bags in like 2011 was my first set of bubble bags.
You were still like in high school.
Yeah, I grew the plants on my parents' back porch. Yeah. Well, behind the garage, and then it like got weird, so like we moved it, because kids here that like their plants, and like then you gotta like start playing it smart, right? So we moved it to the back deck, grew them back there, washed those down, turned them into bubble hash, lost a bunch of the crop, but it was like a great learning experience, and just developed from there, man. I've grown a decent amount of weed in my life and smoked 90% of it because I love that shit, bro.
Yeah,
like I really, more than anything, I tell people all the time, long before I'm a cameraman, I'm a weed man. And I'll always be a weed man.
I was actually wondering which one came first, and I can kind of pick up it's the weed.
The chicken before the egg, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the weed. The weed.
And so when
It's
you had
always
the
been the
opportunity to get into it legally, you were like, fuck yeah.
Well, so through all of the things I got to try, right? I had the clothing company. I set up my own private glass blowing studio. I tried that for a while.
These are all like at the same time, kind of.
No, these are kind of like one after another.
Gotcha.
Like I'm trying to just see what I can get off of the ground to kind of like have a backup plan, bro. Like I didn't want to be a criminal. I didn't want to do that forever. I knew I didn't want to be 50 years old doing that shit. Like I know I needed to figure something out. So we had the clothing company, we had the glass blowing studio, we had a few, like kind of the original formation of what I do now. I was doing like logos and designs and kind of ideas for people. And all of those things that I had done up to those point were, at the end of the day, building hype, getting people excited, getting things formatted and put out into the world and like set up. That set of skills opened me up to the opportunity of opening Artifact Supply with Ryan Gardell, my dog.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan. We've had him
Shout
on
out
our other
Ryan.
show
Bing, bing, bing,
before.
bing, you know.
For the record, we've got some of his art pieces up in here as well. So
That's
yeah,
my
yeah.
boy for life. So we opened Artifact Supply together. It was kind of, I needed to do something and he needed someone to help him connect the dots. So jumped on board with him. We started in his studio in Millbury, moved it to Worcester where it became really well known. At that point, it was clear I had really served my purpose and we exited out and now we're here with the Shabbat Corp.
Wow, bro, that's pretty sick. That is actually pretty sick. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we get back, I actually want to get into a lot of the kind. I don't want to say side tasks, but all the other hustles you've kind of gotten into.
We've done some cool stuff.
Yeah, you've done a lot of it. Done a lot of it. All right. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. This is Infused Influence. I'm your host, Ray Vaughn. I've got a special guest with me, Colin, of course. If you missed the first half of the show, we learned that Colin tried weed at a little bit of a young age. He came back to it, realized, oh shit, this shit's kind of cool, and has kind of been at it since. And at the same time, has done a lot of other projects and ventures that have led him to this point. And in this part of the episode, I'd kind of like to get into that a little bit more. I mean, you mentioned a lot of creative things. For a lot of people, I know that stems from a handful of reasons, but I kind of want to know like where you find your creative drive for all that. I know in the first half you kind of mentioned like needing to get to the bread more or less, but like what kind of makes you want to do all these different avenues?
Totally, man. So I've always been a pretty creative person. So, like I'd said in the past, quarter of this, my parents were awesome, dude. Like I had such an awesome childhood where I really was like immersed in so much awesome stuff, dude. Like I was a classically trained pianist from the second grade to the time I stopped playing. I used to act, I used to dance, I used to do musical theater. I did all of these things at a young age that I think instilled a creativity, an imagination, an eye, a style in me at a
Yeah.
young age. And then when it like, in a way, like I like let other people's opinions on doing that stuff like affect how I felt about it, and I like grew too cool for that, and I like separated from it, and that's kind of around the same time where like I found weed,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't say it went down because of weed. I would say that I found weed to be super helpful for me as someone with ADD and ADHD, but it also I saw it as like the future. Like this is gonna be an industry. This is gonna be a career. There's gonna be a place for me here. So I went all in on it. Um, yeah.
No, that's dope. And so, what was kind of the first like iteration of something you tried? Like outside of outside of like being like too young, but like once we were like in high school, clothing brand, photography. Like,
Yeah,
what'd
so
you
the
go to
first thing
first?
we did was Fat Joint Lifestyle, which was a clothing company that I ran for a few years. So this, by the time I started trying businesses, high school was over. We were like post college by
Yeah.
that point. I really ran amok for a while.
Nah, college was a
Um,
great time to do that shit, bro.
yeah,
That's exactly what
so
that shit was for.
yeah, by the time college was done and I was like, okay, we got to get like serious and figure out what we're doing, I knew I didn't want to use my degree. So it's like, let's just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, where'd you go to school?
Quincy,
What'd you get a degree in?
hotel restaurant management.
That's
Shout
dope.
out Harvard on the Hill.
That's
Shout
dope.
out to all my Worcester people.
Sh- Shout out to all the Worcester people.
Yeah.
Absolutely, brother. That's sick.
I'm a Douglas Milbury kid growing up, but I've been in Worcester my whole life as an adult. We've built some awesome stuff here, like Artifact Supply,
Yeah.
and been here for over 10 years. So yeah, shout out Worcester.
What made you choose that profession, or at least that degree?
I full transparency, in high school they make you do like prep work for what do you want to do in your life. So I set highest potential earning income with the least amount of school, and that hospitality was one of those tracks where you could really earn a lot of money if you were like a hotel manager of a huge hotel.
Yeah.
But as I went through the school program, I realized that it's like sacrificing 7 days a week, 7 nights a week, 365 days a year. And I was like, well, if I want to make that type of sacrifice, I might as well just make that sacrifice for myself. And at that time, I was already, doing my thing, and I had held odd jobs as well as the hustles. And there just became a point where I was like, screw this, like I'm going all in on myself. And ran the weed game consistently for a while, and like I said, that gave me the luxury to try all these other things: clothing company, glass blowing. Um,
So you mentioned the first of all, by the way, that's actually fucking hilarious. When I was in school, like a elementary, whatever young kid, I did a personality test, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a hotel manager one day for hospitality. Like that's just my personality. But for you to get that off of what makes the most bread off of the least work, I respect it, brother.
I got a weird way of thinking about things, dude.
That's how you do
I
it.
justify things differently sometimes, and I know my brain's always been a little bit different. Even just like I had like, you ever do a placement test for like from
Absolutely.
like middle school to high school or
Yeah.
whatever, and they're trying to figure out what they're doing with you?
Yep.
Well, I found out from my older friends that failed because we were French and we were testing into what we were going to be in French in high school. The class above us was the opposite. So they were Spanish going to Spanish. I wanted to learn Spanish, but that wasn't what my year was lined up for. My dumb friends from the year above me that failed their Spanish placement test got put in French. So I did the math that if I failed my French test, I'd get put in Spanish. I literally drew a hand turkey on that test, bro. I'm not even kidding. I literally spent the entire class doodling on it and just picked random things. Bombed it. Next year, Spanish, bro.
My nigga.
Bro, it's always been one of those, like, you
just
gotta
gotta
know
get it.
how to
Yeah, yeah.
work with what you're dealt, dude, and you gotta make it happen, Captain.
No, absolutely. It tells me you're
It's
like
been a lifetime of making it happen.
No, yeah.
Like, my timelines might be a little skewed because of all the weed. It's been a 15 going on 16-year blur, but
just get
if you
into
were
it every
there,
day.
you remember we were there, and, like, rest in peace, my man Tajay, who just passed away.
That's not claps.
He, we went to high school together.
Oh, that's dope.
He had like lore stories of me, bro. That
Yeah.
like I don't even remember. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shout out Tajay. I love you,
Shout out
man.
Tajay, absolutely. Brother. That's dope.
Like, we were there, and if you were there, you remember. And if you weren't there, I'm sorry, you missed something really dope.
No, that's what the stories is for, brother.
Now we're here doing the legit thing. We've been legit for a while. Alexa played G Herbo, went legit.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, now we're just cooking really dope shit for really dope people and giving them an authenticity that people who haven't been here the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years wouldn't be able to give you.
Yeah, dude, that's actually something we'll dive into a lot deeper probably in the next half of the episode. As people who've kind of been in this, I'm not going to say in the same game for the past few years, but in the marketing side of things, the content creation side of things, you could talk about that for hours, quite frankly.
Good.
Yeah, trust me, brother, that conversation gets real long, real fast. But before we get there, I'd like to get back to your past. So you mentioned the clothing, and what was the name of the brand again?
Fat Joint Lifestyle.
Fat Joint Lifestyle.
Yeah, Fat Joint Lifestyle. It was
Cannabis eccentric, of course.
yeah, huge pot leaf on it. So there's some like lore behind the logo.
Of course, let's hear it.
All right, so when Instagram first became a thing, me and my two buddies at the time, they were cousins. People were calling us like the Fat Joint Gang. That's like our hashtag. That's what we were trying to push. And at that time in the weed world and Instagram, everything was by nicknames, what your IG was, everything like that. So we were really pushing Fat Joint Gang, and we were gonna make it something. That was like our crew's get rich.
First of all, what a fucking era, man. Yeah, I used to be the time where like, yeah, you and your boys all had all your names and like the Facebook or some shit. Like we was all tied in.
Yeah.
Now you got to be professional like LinkedIn.
So we like had our little crew, and unfortunately, our crew fell apart. You know, shout out those guys. I don't really know what they're up to these days, but I hope they're doing well.
Hope you guys are doing well. All the claps went away. There we go.
When I separated from that crew, this was always an idea we had. So Fat Joint Gang was turned to Fat Joint Lifestyle and was something I put into play on my own. Would have been nice to do it with them, but we did it by ourselves. So
Personally, like you said, you got to get it, right?
Yo, why should I stop with a good idea if, like, at that time I had the following too.
Yeah.
So it was like, if anyone was gonna do anything with it, it was the one with the following, right? Like, hate to say it.
No bullshit.
So I acted on it. But we turned it from Fat Joint Gang to Fat Joint Lifestyle because of we wanted to have the forward vision where if it blew up, I didn't want them to be able to come back and be like, yo, we're part of Fat Joint Gang.
Yeah.
And then I owe them something. So I ended up talking to this guy. His name's Mimo. Some people might know him. He's a pretty famous artist, but his claim to fame is being the ghost artist that gave Alec Monopoly his start. You can look into it. His name's Mimo. His name's Mike, actually, but he's from Connecticut. He's got a wild story that you can just go down an never-ending rabbit hole on. He's just one of the most interesting people I've probably ever met. And while I was visiting his art studio, making a purchase of canvases of his art that I still have to this day, he was like, oh, I do sketches for everyone. Like, what do you want me to do a sketch of? I was like, yo, I know you do Mr. Monopoly, and I know you do, like, Scrooge McDuck, but is there a chance you could, like, help me, like, sketch out this concept real quick? So I told him, like, pot leaf, cross joints, fat joint, lifestyle. And this man painted it with a brush on a plain white piece of paper that I still have in my apartment to this day. And that was the start of it. And then we had it digitalized, colored, printed by a spot that Doc used to work at.
Yeah, New Tech, right?
Yeah, New Tech back in the day, dude.
Yes,
Yeah, we had them print the shirts and sold a bunch of them. Sweatshirts, T-shirts, tank tops. We did it damn near all.
Yeah. And were you doing your own like photography at this point as well?
No, I mean, I always knew how to make the phone work for me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I was never taking photos and videos seriously, though. It was more or less like I was a hot boy that had eyes on me that would, like, get people hyped about shit because I was just in people's faces. You know what I mean? At the time, not many people were loud about the weed. Not many people were loud about what they were doing. And I was just, like, the outlier. I was like, fuck it. Like,
let's do this shit. Yeah.
It's either going to go really well or it's going to go really bad. And, like, either way, I'm fucked. Like,
Fair.
So let's do this.
All right. And so I assume you took that approach with the next thing. So you mentioned glass blowing.
I have a horrible habit of going all in on everything, no matter what. So
Yeah.
that's why I have to be protective of the energy that I give because I go all in. I sacrifice. I put everything in that I got, and it either works or it doesn't. You know, you got to go big, go home.
No, can't afford to have people fuck that up for you either.
No, no, not at all.
So there's glass blowing.
Yeah, so I wanted, with like the stress of everything I had going on with the rapid decline of the cannabis world, because at a time, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
No, at the beginning, yeah.
money. By the time we started to really like notice the decline, I knew I just like had to figure out something. I didn't know what it was. I had glassblower homies that were making a living off of it. They were like, "Hey, it could be like a great stress reliever for you, but you could also make some like side cash with me. And I'll teach you how to do like certain things that you could help." So, shout out to Slate Glass. A lot of people know Slate Glass. Shout out to Messy Glass. Those two dudes really put me on game. I built my own private studio at my parents' house.
Damn.
Yeah, I invested some cash that I had laying around, and I did my own thing. So I didn't. What I saw killing everyone was their operational costs. So the studio rental, the oxygen, the propane, the glass, everything that makes it get to a finished piece. So I figured if I could build a private studio in a space that I could use, shout out my parents again,
I was
being
gonna say, bro,
amazing,
good parents,
giving me
yeah.
every opportunity to do everything I've ever wanted. I gave it a shot. I tried it, but it's wicked stressful because with glass blowing, you have to be locked in. And I was looking for something that I could kind of create and take my mind off of the stressful things. And then I was just compartmentalizing the stress and focusing on
The blowing.
the
itself,
glass
yeah,
blowing.
yes.
And then just shit was breaking because I'm learning as I go. I'm teaching myself. And now I'm just leaving the studio pissed about everything. And that's when a homie was like, "Hey, you wanna dip your toes into graffiti? You wanna like come out and paint with me?" I was like, "Certainly not the most illegal thing that I've done, so let's try it."
Yeah, why not? That's comical. Well, we appreciate you coming through and sharing the stories with us. We definitely have way more to get into next week.
Yeah. The connection selection on Instagram. Shout out everyone at home listening.
No,
we appreciate you.
shout out to the connection selection on Instagram. Shout out to all the photos, all the videos, even the videos we got on Major Bloom's page, videos you'll see on a lot of social media pages. This man right here. So you guys have just been infused. We'll catch you guys next week. All right, so now we are at the midpoint of our show. Just got a text from Doc that he won't be able to make it, unfortunately.
Damn. Text him back. Tell him he's breaking my heart, bro.
That's comical. And so for the live stream viewers, you guys know that this is the time where we run our mini games. We have 2 games to play today, Colin. 2 games we always play. It's a guess the weight game,
Shit.
but probably go this one first.
I've been out of practice for a while. But let's see
I
what we
didn't
can
grab
do.
any gloves. I should have grabbed a set of gloves so I can touch these nugs.
Nah, I don't even need you to. I don't listen.
I'd love to show it to the camera. That's all.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't even need you to open it. I just need you to shake it so it's level and even. That's my request.
All right, so for the camera, that you can barely kind of see this, but this is
Nah,
some
we
drips.
gotta do better. Nah, keep it right there.
This is Drips flour from the Botanist. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, this is from Bountiful Farms. Shout out to Bountiful Farms. They've been a great grower in this industry for like years now. Honestly, they make a lot of fire shit. And today,
Shout out my man Frank over there. Shout out Zach.
yes sir.
Good dudes.
Today we're going to have this young man here, Colin, guess the weight of what is in here. You can go pounds, you can go grams.
It was weighed with the Bovitas in it.
Yes, yes. Good question, by the way.
Those things are
Really
heavy
good
sometimes.
question. Really good question.
Is there a time limit?
Now you do your thing.
Did you like round it? You weighed it in pounds?
Yeah, I weighed it in pounds.
Like a 3-pound bin?
All to get like are you including the bin in the weight or not?
No.
Over.
I'm over?
Yeah, yeah. With the bin, it was 3.86. By itself, Bovita's included, it's 1.9.
1.9. All right,
Yeah,
two.
this is a
Yeah.
very fluffy. Yeah, kind of really fluffy. And then the next game is where we kind of really put you to the test.
Let's go.
This is the strain game. And so honestly, I think the record is still 37. Do you know? I mean, I think Jeriel hit like 30, 31, 32,
Shit, son.
33. I think Shayla hit like 33. I think they were tied. Kyle Hamilton, he hit like 37. He tied me. The low is 3. So all you got to do is not get 3.
I'm rusty on the weed world, man. You know, I've been deep in the content game, but let's run it.
No, I was gonna say, bro. I'm gonna
Don't
just gonna
judge me at
say-
home. Like I said, I was at a touch on that, but
Oh, trust me, you actually did a lot closer than a lot of people.
I
do.
guarantee you 3 does fit in that on some denser nugs.
Oh no, bullshit.
So,
Absolutely. Though that shit is mad fluffy. So you'll have 60 seconds in this game to name as many strains as possible. I'm just gonna say,
to just name as many strains as possible.
you can.
Oh,
So all you gotta do
dude.
is just tap in.
Oh, I thought it
to
was like
all
a
your
trivia
old
or
days.
something like
Oh,
that.
nah. It's just rapid fire.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna hit start on the timer whenever you start, and I'm just gonna count.
Now let me ask you though, because like strain names are subjective, right? Like sometimes.
Essentially, yeah. Like we haven't fact checked anybody on too many, but yeah.
All right, no, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
run it.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
we
Like,
had-
if you got one you've made yourself, like we're here for it.
We ran through a lot of variety, so let's
Bet.
do it. All right, how long do I got?
You got a minute.
A minute?
Yeah.
And what's the record?
37.
And it's Jariel.
No, it's Kyle and me. Jeriel was like 33 or some shit.
Yatu Savi. Jariel, I'm coming for you, bro.
Jeriel, let him know, man.
33.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do this. Stranana, Sage and Sour, OGKB, Black Raspberry, Black Diamond. We have Cherry Hills, Local Skunk, Strawberry Cannoli, Garlic Breath. Damn, I've never been put on the spot like this. I'm blowing. OVM, Runts, Tangy, Mimosa. I'm blowing like the most absolute simple shit, dude. Jariel, you got me, bro. It's running my mouth. I think it's just a brain overwhelming. I'm dipping out,
Yeah,
bro.
it's a
I'm
brain
dipping
fart.
out.
It's
Yeah,
a
my
brain
brain's
fart.
like, bro, I know a million strains. I don't know
Exactly,
which
yeah.
one. Alaskan Thunderfuck, freaking
Yeah.
Northern Lights.
Yep.
Shit, dude. It's like they're all right here, but they're not coming out. Strawberry Thai, Blueberry Muffin. Dude, they're all there. We're done.
That is comical.
Shout out.
We hit like, what, 18, I think I
Yeah.
got?
Listen,
Not bad.
it is what it is.
Not
dog.
bad.
is
Gerald's
what
going to
it
run
is.
his shit. He's probably
Yo,
going to say you
he's
smoke
gonna
mids
talk
now.
mad shit,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
But
crazy.
it's all right.
That is mad funny.
And want to take one off, give 17 because I meant to say I said Black Diamond. I said Black Raspberry, Black Diamond. It was Grape Diamond. So
17.
yeah, 17.
That's
It is
okay.
what it is.
17's
At least
a
I'm
great
honest.
number.
You see how I'm honest?
Fair, man. You know what?
I
You're
keep it
better than
real.
me. Better than me, because we still don't know if I hit 37. I keep saying
I
I
could have
did.
just let it slide, you know.
You know,
but
you
I'll
coulda,
keep it
brother.
real. I'll keep it real.
Hey, again, at least you're not the last one.
Yeah. I'm not last. I'm not first. But I'm still here.
You're in there. You're in there. All right, well, we're about to get back into
The
the
games are hilarious, dude.
No,
That's
yo, so it's funny
dude,
because- so-
that's such like a funny
we had a
ass
gentleman
scene.
actually, Kyle Hamilton. He came through, and he practiced, bro. So that's how he got.
Oh,
his
he watched
37.
this before.
Oh yeah, like I told him, he's like, yeah, like anything I should know, and I give him the rundown. I'm like, yeah, we play games. So now he watches the episodes, and he's like, bro, I'm beating that. I'm
Oh,
beating
see,
And
I
so-
came in here just like not even knowing.
that. Dog.
No
came-
disrespect.
No. It's like that. Most people
I
don't
gotta
know.
consume a lot from my clients, so I try to consume what I need to, post what I need to, and then
Keep it
live my
pushing.
life.
No,
yeah.
absolutely. He had a whole notes list of different phenos, all the blueberries, all the this, all the that.
Dude, like I didn't even get into any of my dude Buffalo at Breathe Free shit. I didn't even get into anything with my homies at Cape Cod Grow Ups. I could have just thought of my homies' catalogs at all these great brands that I work with and just ran through those.
No, so
but my
that's what
brain's like,
happens. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's
When
what
I
it
did
is.
it, I was like, damn, I purchased here. I've seen 500, 1,000 fucking strains, bro.
I didn't even name some of the most basic ones, bro. Like, come on, get out of here.
The Blue Dreams, the Sour Diesels. Like,
all
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Like, Come
it's
on,
stupid.
man.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
I'm almost disappointed in myself, chat.
Don't worry. Hey, listen, you did better than 3. 3
I'm better than 3.
better than 3.
Definitely
brother.
better than 3.
Jeez. Well, we're about to get into the third part of our show,
Let's run it.
which is technically the first part of the next show. And so let us hit back to the radio, and we got to set up another timer for 14. Anything you want to get into on this next half? We'll talk a lot more about the actual
Shabbat Corp,
day-to-day
content,
Shabbat Corp.
marketing. Yeah, this is all one part for Twitch and YouTube and all of those places.
Yep.
And then it's 2 parts for the radio. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
About to get back into the radio in a second.
What station is the radio on?
WICN 90.5.
90.5?
Yeah.
When does it play?
Thursdays at 6 p.m.
Thursdays, 6 p.m.
So when I get in my car Thursdays at 6 p.m. and my voice is playing, if I'm not connected to my aux yet, it's kind of jarring. I'm like, oh, fuck.
6 p.m., 90.5?
Yes, sir.
FM?
Yeah. Someone said, nah, Black Diamond. Lorian says Black Diamond OG is a strain.
Oh, word. I mean, I'm sure it is, right? But not what I was going for.
That's comical.
I
Alright.
appreciate you, though, G.
No, shout
Thank
out
you.
to Lorian.
Thank you for tossing me the point.
All right, so let's get back into it for the radio. Whoops.
What up, y'all? You're now listening to Infused Influence, where we're infused by weed culture, cannabis business, and its politics through conversations with special guests. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right. Welcome back to Infused Influence. This is another episode of your favorite show of all time, ran by your favoriteest guest forever. Like, even in 20 years, you'll still be like, damn, no one ever did it as good as Rayvon. Or you'll be like, damn, that kid was really cocky for no reason. He was kind of really bad at his job. Either way, it happened.
Either way, shout out Ray Vaughn.
You know what I'm saying? There we go. Shout out Rayvon. That's the energy we need right now. You feel me? That's the energy we need. And so, as you guys know, typically this is a show with Ulysses and I. Unfortunately, Ulysses couldn't make it today. However, the energy is still here that he brings. So I'll just act like Ulysses is here and say, "Hey, Rayvon, how you doing today?" "Oh, hey, Ulysses. I'll say I'm doing an 8.2 out of 10 right now. We've got a special guest in the room. The energy has to be up. We got to get up and go get it. No bullshit. And so we're at an 8.2 right now. And then we do that part where we introduce the guest and I say, "Now, welcome back to the show, Mr. Colin of the Shabbat Corp. How are you doing, brother?" Yes, yo, I got to figure out what these buttons are, bro.
Blessed, bro. Blessed.
I know there's one of those somewhere. There we go. Yes, sir. Shout out to Colin. Yes, sir.
Run it. I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. I'm thankful to be here. Happy to be a guest. I appreciate you guys welcoming me on the show.
Absolutely.
Do some cool stuff, and I think it'd be cool to talk to the people and tell them that we exist.
Nah, bro, it's the only way to get out there. Think about back in the day, it was all print media. You had to wait for some guy on a horse to come bring you like a sheet of paper to say some shit's
Paul
happening.
Revere, kid.
You feel me, bro? You feel me? But that's how you get your name etched in history. So it is what it is. For those who didn't catch last week's episode, we also had Colin on the show, and we talked a lot about his past and his experiences with cannabis and a few other, I don't want to say side businesses, but, all part of the journey to where he is today. And today, I'd kind of like to get more into who he is today, what he does, the Shabbat Corp, and just kind of the pulse he has on the cannabis marketing game, because this is one of the names you mentioned when you talk about video editing, photography, or just anything marketing in the cannabis industry. You probably will always bring this guy's name or his brand up. And so to get into it, I mean, let's get into it. Like, what is the Shabbat Corp? What led you to get to here? I know last week we talked a lot about all of your side projects. Well, I don't want to call them side projects. I feel it's disrespectful.
Yeah, no,
all of your
you're
actual
good.
projects that led you to here. And now you said the weeds first, but here we are.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to sum it up is I'll always be a weed man before a cameraman, but when I really took a look at what I wanted to do for the rest of my life and everything I had done up until that point, the one skill that I had that was really overarching over all of those things was building hype, excitement, branding, strategy, getting people to want to get involved. That is basically marketing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty much all of it, bro. Yeah.
So then if you are like, okay, I want to get into marketing, well, you got two options. You either go to school or you learn what the hell you're doing, you get people to believe in you put in the effort, you show results, and you build a business. So I wasn't going back to school. I knew I had the hustle. I knew I had enough of an understanding of certain things. And I just started offering services. And it started as logos, and it started off as helping people build basic websites, and it started off as like all of these little tiny things.
All self-trained, by the way, I assume.
Yeah, just learning because I was sick of needing someone to do it for me. There's a reason I needed to build a website with the weed thing, but that's redacted like the Epstein files, so we're gonna move past that. Um, so I had all these skills. So I was doing all these like little side projects essentially for people who were trying to get things off the ground. That opened me up to open artifact supply. Once I sold that half of the business back, by that point, that small little business that I was doing on the side was starting to gain questions about, hey, can you blow my social media up like Artifacts is going? Can you help me build my online presence? Can you help me do content? So at that point, I realized there was a need. When I exited Artifact Supply, I had some capital. So I invested into a bunch of camera equipment and just sink or swim. I taught myself. I'd already used cameras, but I wasn't technically trained. So trial by fire, trial by fire. Shout out my OG clients that learned with me. We we really struggled through some of that together. And when I look back on some of my original content with an actual camera, I almost want to refund my homies because I'm like, damn, bro, like I'm sorry, like I did you bad like that. But we were trying to dial in just like even the compression. So like trying to get a beautiful massive file out of the camera into the computer, edited, and then out into a platform that maxes out at 1080p and is a small bandwidth for high quality. It was a lot of trial and error, just dialing in the quality. So it was changing this setting and posting it, changing this setting and posting it, and we really learned together. We struggled together, and I still bless them with the OG prices. But the new people coming on are getting a fair price for great service. You know, I think the overall review that our current clients would give is the ease of working with the Shabby Corp. We do a lot of the prep work. We do a lot of the detail-oriented stuff, so the shoot day goes smoothly. We come in professionally. We shoot everything down. We leave. We go edit everything off-site, and we return it back to you in a timely fashion. Then by the time you get it back, hopefully there are no revisions. But if you have revisions, we take care of those, get them right back to you. But our turnaround time, our ease of working with us, and then obviously the quality of our work keeps the phone ringing, ringing, ringing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we're blessed for that.
No, that's dope.
And
So,
thankful
for all of it.
for everything. What a blessing.
Yeah. I mean, bro, honestly, you mentioned it already in our last episode, but it starts with your parents.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
Shout
I
out
think
my
that,
parents, man. They're the absolute best.
Yeah, having that just freedom and ability to do all that from the jump in the household really sets a
Yeah.
standard for the rest of your life that you go out
They
with.
were great because they gave me every opportunity I could have. They let me try everything. And then when I got to a point, they were like, okay, do you like having these things, doing these things, having this freedom? Yes. Okay, now you got to work for it. And then they kind of like booted the bird out of the nest type of deal. So it was like amazing because it was the best of both worlds. Like, yo, I don't come from the struggle, but by the time I got to adulthood, I had found myself in the mud.
Yeah.
So then it was about figuring it out on my own and pulling myself up and out when I come from a jump start, essentially. And some people might hate me for that, but I thought in my head, the normal doctor, lawyer thing didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Military didn't make sense. I knew how much weed helped my life and was helping other people around me, and I was all in on it. And that, at that time, ran you through the mud. So,
I've
we're
been meaning
back.
to ask, actually, were your parents like for or against the weed?
They weren't with the shit until they really got to hear the impact that it had in other people's lives in such a positive way. Because we helped a lot of people. We'll just
Gotcha.
leave it at that.
Makes sense. Okay. Well,
Helped a lot of people in
yeah.
a non-malicious, we really, it was about the love and the access and the quality and making it happen for people who couldn't make it happen for themselves.
No, that's dope. Because you, when you mentioned on our last episode, being able to grow at home, in the back, like in the garage.
Yeah, so that was like I had gotten my med card and they're like, "Oh, well, all right." Like at
you
that point
can.
they're trying to like wrap their head around it, but they're not really digging the whole story. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
You
Makes
know?
sense. Well, coming back to the Shabbat Corp, you mentioned buying all this equipment. How long
Yeah.
you been doing? Like when was that? How many years ago?
We've been doing the camera stuff pretty consistently for, again, my blurry memory serves me like 2.5, 3 years now.
Okay.
Like full time,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
camera grind, making it happen.
And so you went
Before
ahead.
that, I was using cell phones and I was
Gotcha.
doing the trendy flip transitions and the
The
whips and the
TikTok,
turns and
yeah.
all on
Yeah,
Instagram,
all
all on
Yeah,
Instagram.
before Blue, yeah.
Because I was never welcomed on TikTok, because I've always been a weed head.
Cannabis, yeah.
So
You're
I've always
right.
been deleted. Anytime I ever tried TikTok, I got deleted. I gave up on TikTok forever ago.
Yeah.
I've always just been on Instagram. It's not about being Instagram famous. It's about just doing cool things and like having a platform. And I use my platform to do like a cool Christmas charity every year that I really don't do much talking about. But in 8 years, we've helped, I wish I had the numbers off the top of my head, but over 160 people, and taken over 160 people on a $500 shopping spree for Christmas. So we made
that's
some
definitely
serious
dope.
impact. We've raised some serious cash. I believe it's like 82,000 over 8 years.
Damn.
And yeah, that's a grassroots effort that I use my Instagram platform to crowdfund, and then we source the people that could use some extra love, that are doing their best and could use some help. And we actually meet them, take them shopping, cash them out at the register, and we get on with our Christmas. So it's always been about just having the platform to do cool stuff like that, try new businesses, tell people about things that I'm doing. And I've always just rocked with Instagram, man.
No, I mean, yeah, Instagram's pretty much, I don't want to say always been there for the cannabis shit because, man, the amount of times
They
it's
still
able to
kick
take
our
something
ass,
down.
dude.
Oh, yeah, bro. I lost my own personal page because I was connected to our Instagram through Meta, and they were like, yeah, we suspended Major Bloom. You're suspended too. And I was like, fuck, I got to do with this shit.
I have a bunch of clients that I tell them, I'm like, yo, the harder you go, the more likely you are to be deleted. But at this stage in the game, and I've had this conversation with multiple clients, I think the actual answer is like optimistic delusion, where you just have to keep getting back on the horse and like if your Instagram is Major Bloom, you get deleted, make Major Bloom 1 and run it, because that's what's going to come up when they type in Major Bloom. You get deleted, Major Bloom 1, Major Bloom 2, run it. Like, you just gotta keep going, because if it's haters, they're gonna run out of steam. If it's the bots, something's gotta trip eventually. Obviously, you need to make adjustments to your strategy, but it's about just getting back on and trying again. If I got deleted at 10,000 followers and I never made another Instagram, I probably wouldn't be here doing this today.
No, I feel that. Did you, there's a way to like go into your follower setting actually and like download your entire list of followers like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you literally sent it to me once, like, yo, we got to do this like that. If we ever do get taken down, we have all this information, could go back, follow all these people or hit them all up, whatever it might be. Because yeah, you could spend hours, you could spend a whole day doing a photo shoot, editing all that, post that shit.
I've been deleted mid-campaign.
Yep, that's not.
I've been working with models that are doing social media content in exchange for like money or product or whatever their deal is. They get deleted middle of the campaign. Now they're suddenly not valuable at all. Now they're just not to be an asshole, but a useless expense.
No, yeah,
it's the audience they had no longer exists. It's sad. It's disappointing. A lot of hard work goes into this, dude. I got some 15-second videos on Instagram that I have 10, 15 hours into.
Yep.
Like, some of these
tough.
match cuts where I like got to walk across the whole city. Like, New Dia has a video. It's their trash can wraps across the city. So I walked like 30,000 steps to make that video happen. That was a whole day just of walking.
Yeah.
Then you got to edit the pictures, drop them into the timeline, synchronize everything with the audio, make sure everything's lined up so the match cut hits, export it, send it to client, make sure client's happy.
And then
The video was
still
15 seconds, bro.
potentially take it back, maybe make some
Dude,
tweaks
the
if they
video
need
is
it.
the video is 15. Nah, shout out the Wiedeker group, bro. We have like a, I would say the Shabbat Corp has about a 90% first time approval rate
That's
on
dope.
everything we send over. Yeah,
That's
we're
very dope,
very
actually.
rarely getting revisions back, and I joke, and maybe I shouldn't joke about this, but maybe it's because people don't want to deal with me, or maybe it's because it really is great the first time, but I would like to think it's because it's great the first time. We do a lot of prep work. We ask you for as much of you as we can get. So logos, branding, fonts, colors. We take all those things into consideration so the video's on brand. We're asking you prior to the event, what are we trying to focus on? What's the vibe? What do we want the finished product to look like? That way, what we're giving you isn't necessarily what I want to do. It's what you're looking for. Where, you know, we're trying to fill your need, and we specialize in, when you hire the Shabbat Corp, you're hiring the Shabbat Corp to do your video. You're not hiring the Shabbat Corp to do a Shabbat Corp video. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, yeah.
We focus on white label content for businesses. So it's yours, it's your logo. I'm nowhere to be found half the time, even in it. I hate putting myself in client content, but I will if they need a body. We really focus on personifying the brands that we work with through the content, relaying their messages, and making it clear, consistent messaging for these companies to use. So,
No, that's pretty dope.
yeah.
We'll take a quick break and we'll come right back and
Sick.
figure out how people can contact you at the
Yeah.
Shabbat Corp, of course.
yeah.
All right. Thanks for sticking with us through the break. This is Infused Influence on WICN 90.5. We're also live on Twitch and YouTube. Right now, I'm your co-host, Rayvon. I guess I'm always Rayvon. I don't think I've ever changed my name. I don't think I ever will. I think I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's stuck with me for like 28 years at this point, so I'll probably keep it.
Is your government not Rayvon?
No, it
I was
absolutely
gonna
is
say,
Rayvon.
man, I feel lied to.
Yo,
Run this whole thing back.
Yo, it's nothing funnier than meeting someone whose actual name like isn't the name that they told you, and I'm like, yo, I've been calling you this for 3 years, and that's not your real name.
It's messed up.
That's
It makes you feel
crazy.
like you don't even know the person
No, yeah,
at
yeah.
first.
Sometimes I'd be like, yo, we're kind of enough like of friends where I can tell you this.
We
and
have
I'm
a
like,
mutual homie that I'm thinking of, and I'm not gonna blow his
I
spot.
know who you're talking
But
about.
yeah,
Actually,
tu
look, who
sabe.
I was about to say, I know exactly who you're talking about because I remember meeting this nigga and his name and being like, you know what? I could see why this is what people call you. And in fact, we had him on the show. When we had him on the
Yeah.
show, he was like, yeah, bro, my name, just my name, bro. That's it. We'll pull up the clips. Don't worry. And so, in our final little piece here, not even little, it's big because it's actually a lot about how you can reach the Shabbat Corp. I'd really like to get into the transition of, you know, buying a bunch of cameras and getting to the grind and getting it out the mud and like learning how to do all this shit to where you are now. Because obviously, I mean, for starters, let's just get some claps because that is a great story just in terms of like growth, where you're able to come from, persistence. Again, every time IG shut you down, it's the worst shit in the world.
Get
Like,
back on the horse.
how am I supposed to get 10K followers again?
Yeah.
I mean, you do it.
Talking to yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
There's always a baseline, but I mean, the baseline was probably a couple thousand. Now we're back somewhere around like 8,200, I think,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. Honestly, like in the last 6 months, I've really stopped just like paying attention. It's really turned into a shoemaker's going shoeless type of vibe where like I'm doing so much content and work for other people that by the time I get to my own content, I want to take a nap,
Yeah.
dude. Like, yo, I'm trying to take a day off,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, I'll get through a hard drive full of content for people, and then I'm like, I gotta edit my videos now. Bro. A lot of times I'm editing my videos like 10 o'clock on the couch, like Kill Tony playing in the background, just like cranking it out, focusing more on like the behind the scenes and the story and less of a perfected, polished image on my personal page. If you want to see perfect and polished, go find the people that are paying me to do the work, and you'll see fantastic work.
Yeah.
You know what I
No.
mean? I think the rawness though
I
keeps
was
it
gonna
authentic.
say, yeah, the
It's
raw.
like fast. I got a million things going on. Like, let me show you what I'm doing, but like, sorry, I didn't have the time to color grade it. I'm shooting it on my phone. I'm setting the tripod up. I'm walking past it and grabbing it on my way back into the facility. Like stuff like that. Like
No, I feel that.
we're
That's-
just turning and burning content for my page while also sharing bits and pieces of my life. And then really just focused on making sure the clients have a fantastic experience both working with us and have fantastic content and all the other things we do on the back end to support businesses going for them. Yeah.
no, that's dope. That's it's hard, bro. I mean, it's hard to be authentic and also get to all of that editing. I made a second page for our Instagram, like called Out of Context Major Bloom. That's just photos, no captions. I try not to do
I
any
love
edits in the
that.
videos. It's just the rawness of what the fuck goes on.
I love that.
Because yeah, the polished shit is great for, you know, a nice professional page where you're probably paying for this shit.
People are hungry for authenticity.
But at the same time, bro, oh my god, a video of someone slipping walking in here, that shit's fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
and that needs no edits. You feel me? I like the original sound of the person yelling. Why would I go to put a song over that? Like, you feel me? So just keeping up with that is fun. And so I guess I ask you. You mentioned, you know, at the Shabbat Corp, you guys will use someone else's vision, you know, like with your work, but we want to make other people's visions happen. How do you kind of like align with that, if that makes sense? So like, you know, I know that you have your own vision, and like as you grow you kind of develop your own vision.
Yeah, so through trial and error and just frequency of creating, right? Because we're doing hundreds and hundreds of projects a year. Like when I say projects, it could be anything from a 5-second video to a photo set to a full long format documentary that's going to go out on YouTube. Like we really do it all. So we're doing hundreds of projects a year, and through hundreds of projects a year, we're learning what works, what doesn't work. We're experimenting, we're trying new things. We're always learning and consuming and being consumers ourselves so we can put what is new and trending and we're learning into practice with our clients that are amazing. 85% of my clients are just like, Colin, do your thing. Like, we trust you. We have faith in you. Like, you haven't stirred us wrong yet.
Feels really good, right?
Let's rock it. Yo, it's a blessing,
To
dude.
have
Like,
that trust, yeah.
yo, shout out to all of my clients. And I don't want to name all of you because in different frequencies we all work together. But if they're a great company in Massachusetts, chances are at some point we've worked together. So shout out to them because we really work with some of the best people. Whether it's the brand's the best or the people that work for the brand are the best, we're working with cool people doing cool stuff on a consistent basis. And yeah, I mean, we do a lot of prep work where, to get back to your question, where we ask you questions, like you as the business owner, you as the brand voice, you as the person in charge of marketing, you as in the person that's going to be our point of contact. Who are you guys? What are you trying to relay for a message? When we're first time working together, it's a lot about learning the ethos of who you guys are as your business. Once we start working together, we start having that be the underlying theme of everything, but the content that we're doing and the messaging that we're getting out is specific to what's at hand. So what do you got going on in your store for the month of February?
Yeah.
So while we're planning content in January to shoot in February, or beginning of February to shoot middle of February, your stuff's topical to what you have going on in store, to what is social media trending. Like, we put in all that prep work and talk to the client, communicate with the client. We're meant to be like a addition to what you already have going on.
Yeah.
A lot of our clients, we don't even post the content for. They still manage their Instagram because that keeps them authentic. We just supply them with the ammo to keep shooting.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty smooth. And so once you guys, you know, came together with all this, how did you, you know, make a way for people to reach out to you? Like, how did you go from a bunch of cameras to like, I'm a real bit, like, I'm a business?
I was already lit on Instagram. Like,
Fair.
I'm not even gonna play with
Yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
Like, I already had the platform on Instagram, and I was already doing good with the cell phone. So when I started advertising this, I'm a hustler, bro. I knew how to package it. I knew how to sell it. I knew how to talk about it. I studied what the freaking buzzwords were
Yeah.
and what, made people realize, like, you know what you're talking about. I did a couple projects for free. I grinded with a couple homies and uplifted my homies. And when the kid that's been building hype behind some of the stuff for the last 10 years is like, this is what I'm doing now, people are quick to jump on. So,
Price of the brick just went up.
we out here and, we're just applying the same hustle to this that we did back in the day. And now we're just doing something different.
And so, as we got a few minutes left, first of all, how can people reach you guys?
So the Shabbat Corp on Instagram, TheChabotCorp. That's the Instagram for the business. Through there, you can find my personal page, the Connections Selection. Through the Shabbat Corp, you can find all of the client work that we do, at least a glimpse at it, because some stuff doesn't even make it to Instagram. Some stuff goes elsewhere. But yeah, Instagram is the easiest place to find me, the Connection Selection, the Shabbat Corp. We're really just about having fun and doing cool stuff with cool people. So if you follow me, I can promise it'll at least be slightly entertaining. You might hate me though, and if you do, I'm sorry. I love you back.
You know, it's actually really funny because I'm gonna tell you something off air. But one of my last questions for you is more of what can the people look forward to from you guys? I mean, maybe you can't speak on other clients' projects, but like for you guys, it's a new year, new start. What can we look forward to?
How long we got?
A minute and a half, but we
All
could
right,
also
cool.
go over for the live.
We are trying to take a look at creating activation opportunities for our cannabis clients in spaces where it's not a cannabis event. So we're looking to dip our toes into events. We worked with Masscan to do a VIP lounge at the Freedom Rally this past year. It was a great success. That was kind of us dipping our toes into activations of sorts. So I would say you could maybe anticipate the Shabbat Corp trying to get into more activations. So in turn, we can create sponsorship opportunities and eyeball opportunities for the clients that we're working with on the content side of things, the strategy side of things, the connection side of things. So yeah, I would say that's probably the easiest thing. Other than that, we're just going to continue to dial in our skills. We're learning every single day more and more and more. So what you see now, my work's going to be 10 times better this time next year and 10 times better the year after that, because it's about constantly learning. I'm very quick to admit I'm not the most technical expert, but I'm here to hustle and I'm here to figure it out and I'm going to make it work. So you better work harder.
You guys hear that shit? You got to get up every single morning and just get it. It doesn't matter what's going on. I guess it doesn't matter what's not going on.
Listen, life is never fun. I mean, sometimes it is. Let me run that back. Life can be really stressful. Life can be really testing. I'm personally going through some personal things in my own life right now. But no matter what's going on in my personal life, you just have to get up every day and you got to keep going. You really, one foot in front of the other. The toxic positivity is sometimes what you need to get through things, and you just need to be delusional about where you're at and just be positive and keep pushing and go for it, because at the end of the day, no one's coming to save you, so you got to save yourself.
Save yourself, folks. Appreciate you very much, Colin, for coming through, dropping these gems.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Make sure people hit you up at the Shabbat Corp on Instagram. We might work out maybe a 2% fee on top of your next project. Say you found out about them on Major Bloom podcast, and we'll add $20 to your order. Major Bloom will pay for it, though. Don't worry, we're just putting more bread in his pocket. You feel me?
Let's go.
You guys
tell me
just
Major
been
Bloom
infused.
sent you.
Yeah, tell him Major Bloom sent you. No bullshit.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.